Joel and Ellie's story in The Last of Us Season 1 Episode 9 ends on an emotionally satisfying but morally dubious note, leaving viewers to wonder what will become of the two main characters in the coming episodes. All appear to be going well for finding a cure for cordyceps and completing the primary objective after The Last of Us Episode 9 eventually made good on the promise made in the first episode to have Joel and Ellie reach the Fireflies. However, The Last of Us Season 1's conclusion underwent its first significant change when Marlene revealed that Ellie would have to die in order for the possible cure to be developed. Joel was unable to handle the pain of losing another child because he had already experienced the extreme trauma of Sarah's passing before Ellie became his second daughter. Consequently, in retaliation, Joel makes the self-centered but totally rational choice to kill the Fireflies and save Ellie's life. What happens after Joel lies to Ellie about what happened in The Last of Us before the two head back to Jackson to spend the rest of their lives with Tommy, Joel's brother? It is safe to assume that Joel and Ellie go back to Tommy's newly discovered house, since the episode 9 of The Last of Us takes place on a hilltop looking down on Jackson. The season should begin with Joel telling Tommy the truth about what occurred at the hospital if The Last of Us Season 2 closely follows the events of The Last of Us Part 2. Tommy claims he cannot say he would have made a different decision and will carry Joel's secret to his grave if necessary because he knows better than anyone what Joel has gone through. This goes into a scene where Joel, who is portrayed by Pedro Pascal in HBO's Last of Us, plays his guitar for Ellie and sings a song to her before giving it to her. With Ellie's distant attitude following the hospital events, the scene establishes Joel and Ellie's relationship in The Last of Us Part 2 and provides the foundation for the entire emotional plot of the follow-up. Then there is a time shift of 5 years, during which Ellie and Joel have established themselves in Jackson. The 5-year time jump and its effects on Joel and Ellie's relationship will likely be included in The Last of Us Season 2, which will probably continue the aforementioned plotline. The connection between Joel and Ellie is revealed to be, at best, estranged once the narrative fast-forwards. They continue to share a home in Jackson, but Ellie, played by Bella Ramsey in HBO's version, is much less affectionate towards Joel for reasons that aren't made clear to the reader until later in The Last of Us Part 2. Ellie eventually learned the truth because of her mistrust of Joel's deception at the end of The Last of Us. Ellie starts to dislike Joel because he denied her the opportunity to choose a cure, which is made worse by her survivor's remorse. This is demonstrated throughout the first few hours of The Last of Us Part 2 and will probably serve as the inspiration for the Season 2 opener. Similar to this, the first few episodes of Season 2 of HBO's TV video game adaptation will feature some of the other significant incidents from the start of the second game. After the time jump in The Last of Us Part 2, Joel and Tommy come across a gang of survivors led by a woman by the name of Abby while out on patrol. At the conclusion of The Last of Us, it is made clear that Abigail is the surgeon's daughter, whom Joel murdered in retaliation for him. Several former Fireflies, whose lives were upended by Joel's murderous rampage, make up the company she is traveling with. Ellie then witnesses in terror as Abby kidnaps Joel, questions him, and beats him to death with a golf club. The Last of Us Part 2 plot is set in motion by Joel's death, in which Ellie and Tommy pursue retribution on Joel's murderers. As a result, Ellie and Tommy from The Last of Us Part 2 travel to Seattle to look for Abby, along with Tommy's fiancée Dina. As a result, Ellie embarks on a terrifying quest for retribution that pushes her to previously unexplored levels of violence. The Last of Us Season 2 will surely delve deeper into how the cycle of retaliation can infect the world and its citizens in ways different from how the cordyceps infection did, which is the central theme of The Last of Us Part 2.